It's safer to take back control. Let's spend our money on our priorities. We can trade with Europe without giving away permanent control to people we can't vote out. Imagine if we vote leave. We can stop EU judges undermining our national security. Remember, this Saturday, 12th of March, is Take Control Day. There are hundreds of events being planned across the country. Find out what's going on in your area and sign up to get involved. Visit our website to find an event near you. Go along and hand out some leaflets. Chris Grayling. EU deal doesn't change UK's relationship with EU. The Leader of the House of Commons has today delivered a speech explaining how the Prime Minister's renegotiation has not delivered fundamental reform in our relationship with the EU. Chris Grayling argues that if we stay in the EU, it's a green light to be substantially and increasingly governed from Brussels, handing more money and power to the EU. Mr Grayling's speech comes as Vote Leave publishes a report which sets out why the government's claim of special status for the UK and of reform of the EU are inaccurate. The renegotiation has changed nothing of substance. The European Court remains supreme and in charge of all the areas that it was in charge of before the negotiation. And no powers have been returned to the UK. It is now clear that the only way to take back control and spend our money on our priorities is to vote leave. Deal, not legally binding. Independent research by the House of Commons confirms that EU judges could throw out the Prime Minister's deal after the referendum, as it isn't legally binding. The paper concludes that the European Court of Justice could not enforce the deal if it clashed with EU treaties, and that the PM's renegotiation would effectively be reversed by the courts. This backs up what Justice Secretary Michael Gove told the BBC soon after David Cameron came back with his hollow deal. Some of the top lawyers in the UK also agree that the deal isn't legally binding, such as Maria Wheeler, QC, Martin Howe, QC, Lord Panic, QC, and John Howell, QC. The PM is asking people to risk voting to stay in the EU based on vague assurances that EU courts won't throw out his trivial deal. His renegotiation doesn't come close to fundamental change, and it isn't legally binding. The only way to take back control is to vote leave. The Icelandic Prime Minister has stated that the UK has little or no say over decisions made in the EU, as it's increasingly dominated by the interests of Germany and France. Despite being the fifth largest economy in the world, the UK's influence in the EU is diminishing. Since records began, the UK has not managed to block a single proposal placed in front of the Council from becoming EU law. The UK has opposed 72 measures which have all gone on to become law. We have lost 101 out of 131 cases before the European Court, which have increased the price of beer and the cost of insulating your home. As the Eurozone crisis continues, the EU will make decisions to protect and preserve the euro. It is the safer choice to take back control and vote leave.